Mapleton Public Schools is a district serving more than 6,500 students. Of the many options Mapleton offers, it provides its students with true school choice, thereby eliminating the idea of a neighborhood school. Students are provided transportation to attend the school of their choice from within the district. Adventure Elementary at Western Hills has been around since the late 1950s. Originally serving more than 600 students, Mapleton chose to make Adventure one of its small by design schools. The student-to-teacher ratio is 18:1, and Adventure serves just over 300 students from pre-K through 6th grade. In 2018, the school underwent a much-needed transformation. The iconic but very neglected building of the 1950s was bulldozed down to make way for a new 21st century school. Adventure's teachers and staff canvassed the neighborhood around the school to encourage residents to vote for a much-needed $150 million bond, which passed in 2016. Thanks to that bond, Adventure was able to build their new school. The school exists within the Sherwood neighborhood, just north of Denver metro area. The neighborhood is made up of mostly single-family homes, with only 2 apartment complexes close by. It has undergone a population shift. During the 2000 census, 63% of the households in Sherwood identified as white, while only 36% identified as Hispanic. However, 10 years later, 59% of the households identified as Hispanic, while only 34% identified as white. I wondered if that substantial community shift had any impact whatsoever on continued community involvement with the school. As I thought back to my first 2 internships at Adventure, I realized that I had heard from other teachers that there was little community involvement between Adventure and the surrounding Sherwood neighborhood. How could that be, I thought? The school has been around as long as there's been a neighborhood. My question then became, outside of canvassing the neighborhood to vote on bond measures, how else does the Adventure staff engage with its surrounding community? What, if anything, could be improved in that school-community relationship which could positively impact student education? Encouraged by Schmidt's Learning About Your Community by Exploring activity, I began by taking note of all the public locations which could possibly interact with the school. The first I found was the public library. I do know that the Adventure librarian has a great relationship with Anythink Library. The kids at school are informed of upcoming events at the library and allowed to return their public library books to the school librarian. The school librarian then takes them back to Anythink on the student's behalf. That's a good community relationship, I thought. As I continued to drive around the neighborhood, I knew there was a very popular restaurant which is well known by many North area residents. Las Delicias is but blocks from the elementary school. Many people gather there for lunch, dinner. It's always packed. However, outside of the staff at Adventure ordering from Las Delicias, I couldn't get any definitive answer as to what other joint activities the school and the iconic restaurant may engage in. I continued to think about local services, such as fire and police. Being that Sherwood is in unincorporated Adams County, there isn't a police substation nearby. There is, however, a fire station within walking distance to the school. I stopped by. I asked what type of interactions go on between the school and the firehouse. The guys were unable to provide me with an answer to my question, but were eager to hear suggestions. I have heard of other fire stations providing educational services and demonstrations at area schools. I have seen Fire Education and Prevention Assembly, watched the fire department participate in fire drills with their trucks, and seen them demonstrate the water hose on the truck, which the kids loved. However, what I found out was none of that was transpiring between the fire station and Adventure Elementary. What I also thought was interesting was how close in proximity to Adventure all of these locations were. They were all within a mile of the school. What I found is that despite their close proximity, there really wasn't a lot of engagement with the school. But, like any good teacher would ask of her students, I thought to myself, now what? Now that I know that there is a lack of community involvement between the school and the community, how can I help? What ideas could I bring to the new school year? What I do know is that students reading independently substantially improves their language and reading skills. Taberski writes, independent reading promotes accurate, fluent reading. And the better they understand, the more fluently they read. The more fluently they read, the better they understand. Why do I bring this up? Because I've seen many fire departments partner with their local public school to offer a program called Read to Write. What this program does is encourage students to read independently. Students read as many books as they can. The student in each grade who reads the most books is honored by the fire department with a ride to school in a fire truck. C. Community partnership for the betterment of student education. Can we start something like this at Adventure? We shall see. I have the chief's information and will be in touch with him. It works elsewhere. Why not at Adventure?